Hello, this is OverlordBou back with another ship review video, and today we'll be looking at the new Pan-European Super Destroyer, the Dalarna. Now, the Dalarna will be joining the clauses, which I did a video on yesterday. You guys can check that out if you're interested. In the upcoming 11.8 auction, with the minimum bid starting at 100 million credits. Now, only 500 Dalarnas will be given out across all four servers combined, with the winners receiving the ship, 11-point commander, and a port slot. And the winners will of course be paying the lowest bid, the winning bid. For reference, the winning lowest bid was 220 million for the Edgar and 250 million for the Patry. So those are kind of estimates for where you can put it there. Now the auction starts on September 29th and ends on October 3rd. Now, the Dalarna will be formally released in the text relay starting with patch 11.11, so it'll be about 3 months after the auction is done. Now, this is going to be the final ship in the Pan-European Destroyer line, so after the Holland, players will need to research at least 3 tier 10 tech tree ships, including the Holland, before purchasing the Dalarna. Now, if you're interested in the Dalarna, I'd strongly recommend waiting for patch 11.11, so just waiting the 3 months instead of trying to get it now where you have to waste a lot of credits. Buying her through the auction will be at least 3 times as expensive, so it gives you a few months of early access. So if you're interested in that, sure, you can do it, but only if you have like a crap ton of credits lying around. I don't recommend bidding in the auction. Again, waiting for a few months before buying her if you are interested in the Dalarna. Now, just to clarify for this particular replay, I was not able to put a lot of time into getting replays, so I do apologize. As you guys have known, and I don't really like talking on too much, but OverlordBou the chinchilla has passed away, so I haven't been really doing well mentally because of that. I've had him for about 9 years now. He was very loved and cared by everyone in the community. So I've been having a rough time as a pet owner, and I miss him. And so I've been having a rough time mentally dealing with him passing. And also, I was also working on the Closets video as well. So for this replay, it was the only time that I was able to actually get the replay. So I do apologize if the replay is a little bit. It's not a full match. So if you guys are interested for more interesting gameplay, I do apologize. You could probably go and check out other CCs that have their videos out. So if you guys are more interested in that, you guys can do so as well. But I just wanted to give you guys an explanation on why the replay it is what it is. But moving forward, with that talk out of the way, I'll be going over the recommended captain build first, with the module setup, followed by the ship stats, and finally I'll give my thoughts about her performance overall. Now, to start off, I'll be going over first I'll be going over the captain build and upgrade shown on the top right. As you can see, it's a standard DD build with partially built the torpedoes. It's pretty much the same build as a Holland, so if you're wanting to just switch the commander from a Holland to the Dalarna, you can do that. Works perfectly well. Totally up to you in that regard. But let's talk about the ship stats, starting with her armor and survivability. Now the armor will be shown on the top right. Since it's a DD, it doesn't have a citadel. The ship's only real characteristic is that it has a 19mm bow/stern with a 16mm superstructure. It does have a 20,300 HP pool, and you do get access to repair party, which is unusual for a DD. So just like the Holland, you do get a heal, which is very nice indeed. But now, going on from that, while Dalarna's HP pool is mediocre, the access to the repair party pushes her effective HP to over 35k, which is really nice. Now, that's as long as you use it properly, utilizing all of the heals, you get the full 35k utilization. This also lets her recover from mistakes that would cripple other DDs. Now, the Dalarna will remain effective even in the late game where other DDs are running out of steam because of this repair party. Next up, let's talk about the main guns. She gets 3 twin 120mm/50 guns with 11.2 kilometer range with a 2.8 second base reload with a 7.2 second 180 180-degree turret traverse. It can fire 20 degrees off of the bow and 20 degrees off of the stern. The HE shell damage is 1750 with a 20mm HE pen, a 8% fire chance, and 225k HE DPM. It does have a 2100 AP shell damage with an 8mm overmatch, with a 45 through 60 degree ricochet angle and a 270k AP DPM. Now the shell dispersion for the Dawn will be shown on the top right, as I talk about the shell, about pretty much the characteristics of the guns. Now Dawn's guns are surprisingly capable for a torpedo-focused destroyer. Her high HE DPM lets her out-trade most of their DDs at close range. However, dedicated gunboats like the Dalarna can punish her past 7 kilometers, as Dalarna struggles to hit fast-moving moving ships. Ships also like the super ship, the Zorky, will also prove a formidable foe to fight as well. Zorky right now is one of the best super ship DDs due to its tankiness, maneuverability, and heal. So it's definitely gonna be a hard ship to fight if you try to fight it with the Dalarna. Now, still, the Dalarna's guns can be very effective under the right situations. Now, for the torpedoes, you get 2 Quint-launched 553mm torpedoes. You can switch between 2 different types of torpedoes. You can get the standard Halland torpedoes, which do 10,700 damage with a set 15-kilometer range that go 86 knots and have a 90-second reload. Or you can do the short range, which increases the damage to 17,500, but has a range of about 8 kilometers, has a 70-knot speed, and a 90-second reload. Now, note that it does take 5 seconds to switch between the torpedo types, so just have that as a reference. Now, the Dalarna has a choice between 2 types of torpedoes: the long range, which is the kind of like the normal Halland torpedoes, or the short range but have the high damage torpedoes. Now, the 15-kilometer torpedoes are her go-to due to the excellent range and high hit probability due to the high torpedo speed. Now, the 8-kilometer torpedoes are very situational, best used against other DDs in caps or aggressive ships at close range. Like, say you're trying to yellow somebody, or you can use an island to get up on a ship. Or if you're fighting a DD, you know it's close by, you could potentially use those closer range torpedoes to kind of do a devastating hit on them with those. Now, knowing when to use the 8-kilometer torpedoes is key. So getting the most out of the Dalarna, otherwise she is just a glorified Halland pretty much. Now, next up is her anti-air. The anti-air defense, you get 6 inner plus 3 outer flak, which is very nice. That's 9 total flak clouds, which is a lot of flak damage, which if they do hit it. Now, it has a long-range DPS of 210, which is a range of 6 kilometers, and the mid-range anti-air is 378k DPS. Sorry, 378 DPS for the anti-air mid-range. Now, the Dalarna has the absolute best anti-air of all DDs in the game. With access to DFAA, she can obliterate enemy planes before they know she is even there. She does have a 3.1 kilometer air detection, lets her ambush planes just as they pass over, ensuring maximum plane damage. Pretty much just a super buffed up Halland anti-air if you want to compare it in a way like that. Now, CVs will definitely think twice before sending their planes to a flank if they know the Dalarna is nearby. Now, as for her anti-submarine capabilities, it kind of has the same problem as the other pan-European DDs, where you have the forward-launching depth charges. Now, in some situations, it can be fantastic, but other situations, it can be complete hell, so just take it as you will. Now, you do get 2 max charges for the depth charges, with the number of depth charges per attack being 8. And they do 2,000 damage per depth charge, have a reload of 40 seconds. And the range is, again, forward-facing, so I think about a kilometer in front of the destroyer is usually how it works. A kilometer, 1.5, right around there. Now, it is unusual for a destroyer like the Dalarna to fire her depth charges to the front of the ship. It is a kind of a trademark of the pan-European DDs. While this lets her chase down DDs, her slow speed and lack of hydro still makes this difficult. The low damage per depth charge also means the subs will often get away or even surface long enough to shotgun her in the face, which sucks. Now, this results in disappointing anti-sub performance. Now, let's cover her maneuverability. She has a max speed of 36 knots with a 720 meter turning radius and a 4.4 second rudder shift. Now, the Dalarna's maneuverability is average, if a bit slow. While not sluggish, speed boost is needed to give her enough acceleration to dodge salvos. Now, up next is her Concealment. She has a base surface detection of 7.5 kilometers with an aerial detection of 3.9 kilometers, with the best being 6.1 kilometers and the best aerial being 3.1 kilometers. Now, not amazing. The Dalarna's Concealment is good enough to engage other Torp and hybrid DDs. A fight she will usually win. Her air conceal is also just just small enough that CVs do not have enough time to spot, insert, and attack run immediately. They usually have to circle back around. Now, this gives Dalarna a few extra seconds to shoot down their planes and potentially prevent an attack altogether, which is amazing. Now, finally, here's the consumables available for the Dalarna. You do get a standard D damage control party, which is a 5-second immunity period with a 40-second reload. Now, with the DFAA, you do get 4 base charges, 5 with Superintendent, plus 50% continuous AA damage, plus 300% of flak damage. Now, this is active for 40 seconds and has an 80-second reload time. Now, if you guys already didn't know, the best way to use DFAA, usually what you want to do is you want to activate DFAA as you know that they're coming in. So like, say you have your anti-air off, when they're coming near you or about to get you spotted, you want to activate the DFAA, then hit the priority target, because if the flak hits them, it's almost pretty much an instant squad wipe. As you probably saw early in the video, I was pretty much doing a very good job against the CV planes. So just do it like that and you're good to go. Now, for the standard DD engine boost, you have 3 base charges for a Superintendent, and you get plus 8% to max speed with improved acceleration. It does have 120-second active time for the standard DD engine boost, and it has a 120-second reload. Now, it does get a standard EU DD repair party, which heals 14 through 17% of the total HP over 14 seconds. It has 3 charges for a Superintendent with an 80-second reload time. And again, this does have the same loadout as previous EU DDs. Now let's talk about my overall impressions of the Dalarna. Now, it has a skill for its low to medium, with the skill ceiling being about medium. Now, like her tier 10 counterpart, the Halland, now the Dalarna is a torpedo-focused destroyer with potent self-defense guns. Compared to Halland, Dalarna is a minor improvement with slight buffs to her guns and anti-air. Her 15-kilometer torpedoes are easy to lead and land, making them dangerous to all surface ships, though her 8-kilometer torpedoes are niche and they can still be useful for dev striking predictable ships or attacking DDs. Now, you don't want to neglect her guns, as you can comfortably outgun every non-gunboat DD except for the small end. You can bully them away and secure spotting for your team. Now, it's not just the Halland. I'm talking about for like the tier 10s. Sorry, non-gunboat DD except for the small end. If you're gonna be trying to fight against, like, say, like a Haragumo, Ragnar, let's see here, I'm trying to think. Kaba would be a pretty big pain because of that armor, I think. Delny could also be a problem too, I think. Zorky is probably one of the biggest, because Zorky is kind of like the biggest DD bully at this point. It's just you don't see many Zorkies running around, which isn't like it wasn't really talked about too much, the Zorky, whenever it first came out. But it's definitely one of those ships that if you see a Zorky wool in this thing, you really don't want to try to gunboat it, because that thing will tear you up. Yeah, just gonna put that out there. Now, unlike other DDs, CVs are reluctant to attack you for fear of losing planes. Abuse this by taking aggressive or isolated positions that other DDs can only dream of. Just make sure you aren't spotted at the wrong time, or surface ships may punish you severely and you're dead, pretty much. Now, overall, the Dalarna is just a general improvement over the Halland. She doesn't do anything different, just a slightly better. While this isn't a bad thing, it does have a lack of gimmicks that can make her seem dull compared to other super ships like the Conde, or the Edgar, or the Annapolis, or, you know, the Zorky, or any other one that has some kind of gimmick. This one does not have a gimmick, so rip. Now, still, she can be a good choice for players wanting an easy to play torpedo DD or to counter most CV players. Now, for randoms, I say that the Dalarna is about above average overall, but weak to super ship standards. She lacks the raw damage output that Yamaguri or Zorki can bring to the table. Now, for ranked, is above average and can gunboat tier 10 Ds and Yamaguri with ease, but will suffer against the Zorki. Now, for clan battles, I'd say it's unlikely to see use because Pollen is just as effective without using a super ship slot. And again, if they're going to bring a super ship, it's most likely going to be a Zorki or Yamaguri for the DD slot. So I don't think that the Dalarna is going to be used for that. Now, again, the auction will be opening up for the Dalarna and the Clausewitz on the 29th of September. It'll be ending on October 3rd. And again, there will be only 500 winners for the Dalarna across all 4 servers. And if you win, you get the ship, an 11-point commander, and a port slot. Now, if you are interested, you can definitely do it if you like, but I would just recommend waiting the 3 months for after the auction is done if you're interested in the ship. But that is going to be it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Again, I do apologize for the lack of a really good replay. This was the only replay that I could use that had a decent, you could see the CV, there was CV interaction, there was some DD, some battleship interaction. So I just kind of wanted to show that. So, but I do apologize for this video not having the best replay. I know that I usually try to put out more better quality replays, so I just want to apologize for that. Just I haven't been in the best mental state due to Bo, so yeah, I just want to apologize, and I do thank y'all for your support. I do appreciate y'all being here and staying to the end of the video. But yeah, if you guys have any question concerns, definitely in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys and love you all, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Torpedoes astern.